Everyone, welcome back to another episode of Murder by Numbers. Thanks for tuning in. So we just found the silver bracelet that we've been looking for as an identifier for the informant we're supposed to be meeting at this party. We still have not found them, and this item was by itself on the little cushions here, so that's pretty suspicious. I wonder who it belongs to. It had a mysterious message attached to it, actually, which we should be presenting to Detective Cross, because that would be extremely relevant, so let's do that. A silver bracelet? That must belong to my informant! There's an engraving, but I can't figure out what it means. For answers held on the day you fell. I mean, the only thing I can think of, unfortunately, is, Tully what did fall to his death. But other than that, I can't think of it. Unless it's like, oh, are you an angel? Did it hurt when you fell from heaven? Whatever that pickup line is. Yeah, I don't know. Or fell as in fell from grace. There's so many meanings to falling. Beats me. Line from a poem or something? Okay. Didn't have much to say about that. All right, let's continue to investigate. Investigazione. Okay, here we are. Now what are you? Now reveal thyself. 1, 2, 3, X, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8X, 1, 2, 3. That's not gonna overlap. Okay, great. Look at all these wands. Okay, anything else? 1, 2, X, 1, X. Okay, 3's not gonna fit there, so it's gonna be there. 1, 2, 3, 4, X, 1, 2, that's also not gonna fit there, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, all right, decent start. Can't really cross much off over there. Other than that, great. Oopsie. Here we go. What else we got over here? Perfect. I kind of wanted to continue my crafting talk a little bit from the last episode, though branching off in a slightly different direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I talked about cross-stitching, and then I had all these crafting ideas from when I visited all these really cool places. I was like, oh man, I want to do that, or I want to make that. One of them that's really simple is an earphone cord wrapper. Really, it's just a piece of fabric with either like a little snap button or a piece of Velcro. And I knew I had Velcro because a while back, I cosplayed as Ninjara from ARMS. I was really obsessed with him. He's still my icon for a lot of different places. I think my Switch, maybe even other places, but yeah. And that was the hardest I have worked on a cosplay probably ever. I got a bunch of tools for it, and like, I don't know what's that thing called? It's, rotary? No, I don't know. It's a fast, spinny thing with a small head that you can use to like shape things and buff things. Yeah, I'll probably think of what it is later. But I even bought one of those to like shape all the pieces of like the mask, the chest plate. I learned a lot of new skills that I think I immediately forgot afterwards because I don't utilize it much, though I should go back to it at some point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But yeah, after that, I burned out, and I don't think I ever will want to pursue that. Either ever in my lifetime or for just a very long time. I think that was enough for a long time for working on a cosplay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I always admire how hard cosplayers work and how much they put into their craft. I think it's really amazing. So crazy. But yeah, so I found, I remember I bought Velcro for that, and I had to use it for, I think, the shoes. And I couldn't find it for the longest time, but because I was searching the house for the old cross-stitching stuff that I still need to tackle eventually that I bought, I found Velcro, and I'm very excited. So hopefully I can make those little earphone cord wrappers. I've been trying to organize stuff around my desk for a very long time, and one of the ones I want to keep nearby and not store too far away lest I forget about it, or it will become inconvenient, it's just earbuds. I need just use the regular ones that come with like iPhones, the white ones. They've been extremely useful for when I'm recording Let's Plays, for when people come over, and I have a bunch of pairs and just give to all of them. We all connected to a little audio splitter, so the game audio is not leaking into the microphones. It's been very useful. I need to keep it nearby. It'll be very annoying if I have to put it away never to see the light of day for a while. So yeah, I've just been wanting to make little cord wrappers, and now I can. It should be simple. What I'm not good at is like the finishing look of making everything look really complete. 1, 2, X. Hold on, I gotta mark this out. Oopsie, 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 whoopsie. Okay, hold on. 1, 2, wrong one, wrong one. Hi, 1, 2, X, 1, 2, 3, 4, X, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that overlaps a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, X, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that is it. So yeah, you know, like hemming an edge or like finishing an edge so that, you know, there aren't like weird bits sticking out. It's, I'm not very good at that stuff. I took a fashion / kind of sewing class. I think in high school. That was kind of one of the cooler classes we had. We didn't really have a lot of cool classes available at that point. So that was kind of a lot of fun. I remember this one time, I got so embarrassed because I was using a hammer for eyelets. Those are like for the little snappy clappy stuff, claspy stuff. But you have to hammer those. And apparently it was really noisy because next door, someone had to come in and complain about it. They were just like, hi, yeah, sorry, we want to come in and ask if you could turn it down with this noise. It's like, I'm sorry, what noise are you talking about? It's like, and then I was literally hammering as they were saying that. And they were like, oh, that one. I was like so embarrassed. I was doing the thing when they were coming in to complain about it right at that moment. I felt so horrible. But yeah, my train of thought is just flying everywhere. Hold on. 1, 2, X. It has to be like that, right? Because otherwise it ain't gonna work out. Yeah, so I'm not good at like finishing touches and stuff. That's something I've always wanted to improve upon, or like cleaning out the edges. Basically just making it so that it's professional, or like sometimes, you know, clothing a lot of the times have like multiple layers so that the inside isn't so messy, or it's just like nicely cushioned and padded. You know, that stuff's a little hard for me to figure out. And it takes a lot of patience, and I run out of patience pretty easily, so. But it's something I'm gonna get around to eventually. Hold on, I'm struggling to figure this out. I need to make another solid step around here. 1, 2, X, 1, 2, 3? 1, 2, 3, X, 1, 2, 3? That doesn't overlap at all. Whoa, yo. Whoa, yo. I can't like solidly cross stuff off in these sections. What can I do? Aha, here's something. That's something, that should help. Great. So that's a 4 there, that would be the 2 for sure. That would be the 2 for sure. So there we go. 1, so say this is the 2, X, 1, 2, 3, X, 1, 2, so that there would be no room for that, so this is a 3 for sure. Okay, great, doing good. Holy heck. Come on, we can't stop that forward momentum. That has to be crossed off because that's part of the 2, right? So there's that. Okay. Great, this is good. Okay. So since this is part of the first 2, that means this is the latter 2. I feel it in my bones. I feel the forward momentum. I've wanted to pick up crocheting for the longest time. I did try to have my cousin teach me. So she learned crocheting and then I learned knitting. So we were trying to teach each other. And yeah, there was this comment in there's these YouTubers called the Try Guys. They were trying crocheting in one of their episodes, and there were people in the comments, and I'm inclined to agree that whichever one you learned first, the other one's just gonna be really difficult. And I kind of maybe agree with that. I don't know. Some people might just naturally be able to pick up both quite easily, but that seems to be a general consensus for some people. Yeah, I find crocheting impossible, and she was kind of struggling a little bit with knitting, though I think knitting is a bit more accessible or easy since it's just straight lines, but crocheting is just like hooks and things you gotta put the hook into and making these loops, and I just don't understand. It's so complicated.
Oh no! Was the victim a police officer?
No, this isn't a police badge. It says Lori Becker, Leith Security. She must have been hired as a guard.
Leith? That's the same company Frank Pritchell worked for.
1 dead employee is bad luck, but 2? So the day you fell, like Frank Pritchell. What's going on over here? What do you think about this, huh? What do you think about this? The victim's name was Lori Becker. She worked for Leith Security. Leith? That's Jag Larson's outfit. Same company that employed Frank Pritchell. I wonder if there's a connection. I don't believe in coincidences. Okay. Continue to investigate. What other evidence have we got around here? I do want to learn crocheting though, because I feel like it seems so much more versatile was the word I was looking for. 1, 2, X, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because it feels like you can make a lot of complicated shapes, and like you can make amigurumi, the little dolls, little stuffed things that are really round and cute. You can make all that stuff. Like that's not something you could easily do with knitting. You'd have to take a lot of leaps for that. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is something I would be interested in trying to learn again one day, but when she was trying to teach me it, I was like, this doesn't make any sense to me. I can't compute any of this stuff. It was a lot for my poor little brain. 1, 2, X, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Speaking of the Try Guys, actually, I saw them around for a while, but I never really watched their videos. I think for a bit, I wasn't super interested in channels that kind of just did a variety of stuff where they just like kind of a Good Mythical Morning is another one that I know of. I've seen a couple of their videos because I think Berkeley is a big fan, but I wasn't ever really interested in the channels that just they literally tried a variety of different activities or things. I kind of liked a focus of one type of subject matter, so it was a little difficult for me to get into, but I decided to give them a try. And something I've really come to like about them. First off, they're sometimes they're a little bit too raunchy / curse a little bit too much for me, but you know, what's new in the space of popular creators out there, I suppose. But yeah, other than that though, something I really like about them is that they seem to do a lot of videos sort of challenging like gender and gender norm stereotypes and like challenging toxic masculinity. I love that. And I think all of the viewers on their channel really appreciate that as well and point it out quite often. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, because they did that video on crocheting, and that was one of my few introductions. And then they did a lot of different ones. They have done like you know, doing drag, they did knitting and things like that. Whoops, sorry for the sudden cut. Anyways, continuing my train of thought. Yeah, they did a whole drag show. They've gotten dragged, did a whole show, you know, put on a great show, right? Or even something more minor and less grand, like just trying on women's pants and sort of experiencing like the fact that some gendered things are kind of weird. Like many women's pants have either tiny or non-existent pockets, and like sort of what you got to do to circumvent that. It's like, okay, a lot of people with huge pants or huge pockets, they're just used to just putting everything in their pockets so they don't carry a bag around. But then you gotta think about that when you don't have access to these things because you're tiny, annoying, lack of pockets, right? You gotta think about bags and how some bags are really expensive and sometimes things catered to women. It's like this whole loop about things that are catered to just the typical image of a woman, right? It was kind of cool for them to try and just go through that little experience. Like it's something you don't really think about. So I just like that they were bringing attention to stuff like that, just like everyday common stuff you got to deal with, right? They tried out like a labor pain simulator, right? Like of what the pain that women go through for pregnancies and things like that. I don't think I've watched that one yet, but I keep looking at the thumbnail. I think I'll try it out eventually, but the concept is crazy. They like get and give facials to each other. They got their nails done. Like they went all out. They did like those long nails with a deco on it. And like they tried on clothes that like standard society might shame men for, like crop tops or skirts or things that aren't typical to men, right? And sort of like they go through the experience of trying to feel more comfortable in their skin and just, I like it. It's really cool. I like that they do this stuff, right? And just sort of trying to be role models and being comfortable in representing and expressing yourself like however you want, regardless of what like society deems acceptable. Dude, people who are like secure in their sexuality and comfortable in their own skin, it's super admirable, very attractive. It's not easy to get done. Again, because of how society has raised us and how things we're told every single day and advertised to, every single day, all these messages we receive every single day and all the things we consume. It's not easy to break out of that. We're raised on that, right? But yeah, people who try and go for it, make an effort to break out of that and just try and learn to be comfortable in their own skin. Like, I think that's so cool that they're being role models for that, right? Like, it really saddens me when a lot of people out there, in this situation, I'm talking mostly about cis men, they are sad. I feel sad when they refuse to have anything to do with anything typically deemed feminine because of like how society has shaped their perceptions, right? Or like so many people are afraid of expressing any sort of attraction or aesthetic attraction towards like masculine presenting people because they're afraid of being judged or ridiculed or called like aha gay or whatever, right? Like that's like a big thing. They're so scared of that, right? You can appreciate anyone regardless of your orientation. You don't have to preface it with like no homo or totally not into guys, but and like it makes me roll my eyes every time. But like I see why they feel compelled to say that, again, because they probably experience in their life reasons to believe that it's not okay or not normal, right? So they gotta be like, oh, I gotta preface it with the fact that like, okay, this is an exception, or like, I ain't normally like this, right? But it's okay. You don't have to do that. It's okay. It's so complicated. This is the concept of toxic masculinity. It's like, I think a lot of people feel attacked when they hear that. They're like, oh, you're saying like being masculine or being a man is like a bad thing. Like you don't like all men. It's like, no, I just don't want people to have to feel uncomfortable in expressing themselves or being themselves in various ways. That's really what toxic masculinity is. It's kind of like a lot of men end up hating themselves for like a lot of reasons, or like not wanting to do activities or wear things or express appreciation or aesthetic attraction to somebody because of how things are shaped, right? It's more so that everybody wants everybody to be happy and comfortable. It's not that it's like, oh, all men suck. It's like, no, that's not what that means. But like, yeah, it's hard. It's hard when society is the way it is, right? You gotta take small steps. You gotta change your own mindset first. Maybe find other people who are more supportive and not trying to ridicule you for a really stupid thing. There's so many dumb things out there. There's like whole forums dedicated to this stuff of like, oh, you drink something with cream in it? What are you, a girl? And then so like a lot of people will avoid like getting certain foods or drinks. I've complained about this before in some videos of mine, but like that's ridiculous. Eat what you want, wear what you want, call whoever you want attractive, or it's so silly. It's so silly. Ugh. A shell casing. It must be from the killer's gun.
Just a moment, Honor. I don't think it's that easy. Look at the way the metal is worn and discolored.
Is that normal?
It is normal for brass to tarnish, but not to this degree. I estimate this casing to be around 30 years old.
Ha! 30 years? What's a shell casing from the 60s doing here? Ha! Wait, what? Hold on, take a look at this. That's a home run for forensics. I guess our killer wasn't too careful about cleaning up after themselves. That's what I thought at first. But the tarnishing of the brass indicates it's around 30 years old. 30 years? Damn it! So what do you got to say about that? What about this? Oh, right. We already got this. How about you? What do you got to say about any of this stuff? Anything at all? Oh, whoops, I already showed you. Oh, no. Does that mean anything to you? You ever hear of Leith Security? No. Okay. Where did you get that? Ooh, a strong reaction. Okay. We found it near the body. At first I thought it might have come from the murder weapon, but it's too old for that.
How did you know?
It's mine. I brought it back from Quezon. Quezon? Scout?
Quezon, a district of Quang Nam Province, Vietnam.
Wow.
Was this a holiday souvenir?
Scout, nuh-uh. It wasn't no holiday. It was war. How did your shell casing end up on the crime scene? Must have dropped it while I was doing safety checks. I'll take it back now if you don't mind. No can do. This is evidence in a murder case. Ugh! Ha! Looks like you got yourself a couple leads. Conclusions? The informant killed the victim. The informant was never here. The victim was the informant. Okay, what did I just pick up? I got a badge from Leith Security. I got a bracelet. I got a shell casing that belongs to Clyde from 30 years ago. I don't know. The victim was the informant. The silver bracelet we were looking for was near Lori's body. She must have been the informant. I was afraid you were going to say that.
And she worked at Leith Security, the same company as Frank Pritchell.
That explains how she might have gotten hold of some new information about him. Except now, I'll never know what it was. This was no random killing. Someone killed Lori Becker to keep her quiet. We'd better find out who before anyone else gets hurt. Wow, and let's leave off the episode there. Oh my gosh. So she was the informant and was going to tell us more about Frank Pritchell. Is Leith Security, is it corrupt? Is it good? Is it just got a couple bad eggs in there? What's this company about? What's their creed? What's their aim? I don't know what to think of Jack after all this, because he's like the head of that whole security place, right? He claims there was no association with this Frank Pritchell person, but anybody could claim that. Anyways, join me next time. This is Axus, over and out.